Guys, what's going on? My name is Luis, and God bless every single one of you. Today is May 2nd, 2024, and welcome to the Grand Supreme News channel. Alright guys, so we have some urgent information coming out. If you can, please share this video. And just looking at this title, once again, it's not looking good. You have the Bear Gov rejects Sleeping Giant claims that the bear used very powerful equipment in UKR. Today, spokesman Dimitri came out. He was not pleased. Oh man, he's not pleased. He heard the message from the Sleeping Giant State Department yesterday about this right here. Let me just highlight it. And he came out and says something today. All right, and give me a second. Let me pull up that information. If you can, please share this video. And you guys already know we talked about this last night. All right, we talked about, again, the Sleeping Giant State Department. They put out this information saying that the bear used some very powerful equipment. Today, the Bear Gov, on Thursday, rejected allegations by the Sleeping Giant that the bear forces had used a very powerful equipment in UKR. Once again, the Sleeping Giant State Department said on Wednesday it had determined that the bear used this equipment. Let me just highlight it. All right. Against yellow and blue forces. Now, again, guys, so you have one side saying they used it. You had the other side saying we didn't use it. So when it comes to this game of chess, biblical war, it's hard to trust anyone. All right, and especially it's hard to trust the Sleeping Giant leader. It's hard to trust the Sleeping Giant leader administration when they're putting out this info. All right, so people's gonna be like, "Oh, you with the bear now?" No, here's the thing. All right, anything that comes out from the 4-6 group, I don't believe them. All right, again, you guys already know what happened in 2020. You think 4-6 won against the 4-5? No. So again, everything that he puts out, again, I don't follow that. I don't follow that. I don't even follow the abomination stuff that he puts out there. All right, so again, the Sleeping Giant is putting out this information that the bear has used these equipments. We heard this before, back in 2013, I believe, that supposedly it's a country. I'm gonna spell the name Syria. They use something like that too, and the Sleeping Giant point the finger at the leader of that land. All right, so why is it that whenever LEFT come into power, all of a sudden we hear breaking news about those equipments being used? All right, so when I say equipment, every time LEFT gets into power, we get breaking news about this type of stuff. So we have seen the news about this, he said. As always, such accusations sound completely baseless. Once again, this is coming out from the spokesman Dimitri told reporters when asked about the accusation. The Sleeping Giant said that the bear had violated when it comes to that equipment. All right, so once again, Dimitri is putting his foot down on this one. So this equipment is an oily substance known as I'm gonna skip that name, agent, that was widely used during WW1 as a form of tear gas. Now the Sleeping Giant, the 3 letters, I'm not gonna say it, label it, man, look at this, that can cause severe, well, it could do some stuff, and I did talk about it yesterday. Now, once again, its use is especially prohibited by the CWC. Now, the use of such powerful equipment is not an isolated incident, and is probably driven by the Bear forces' desire to dislodge the Yellow and Blue forces from fortified position and achieve tactical gains on the battlefield, the Sleeping Giant said yesterday on Wednesday, again May 1st. So what do you guys think? I mean, again, the Sleeping Giant saying that they have basically all the info that the Yellow and Blue country forces has been tested and supposedly has been, those equipments were used because the Yellow and Blue country forces are having certain symptoms. So it says here the Bear capital has signed and ratified the CW, which outlaws the production and use of these powerful equipments. The Bear has been and remains committed to its obligation under the law, this person said on Thursday. So the Bear is saying, hey, we agree, we signed this, that we're not going to use this. So whatever happened, again, to the Yellow Blue forces, don't come to us. Don't be pointing finger at us. We have more updates. Give me a second here. So the Bear is really furious with the Sleeping Giant. The Sleeping Giant is pointing the finger at the Bear. Alright, give me a second here. Like I said, it's hard to believe anyone when it comes to the game of chess. But again, sometimes the Sleeping Giants could be really notorious about these type of stories. Alright, so, and again, like I said, the 4-6, I just don't trust none of those group. The Sleeping Giant has accusing the Bear of using very powerful equipment. And once again, in the Yellow and Blue, in violation of law banning their use. The Sleeping Giant official said that the Bear used this powerful equipment over the Yellow and Blue. Once again, the Sleeping Giant is the one that's pointing finger. The allegation, which the Sleeping Giant official said was not an isolated incident, would contravene the very powerful equipment which the Bear signed. So once again, the Bear signed this contract, and other nations too, that they would not use this equipment. The question is, out of 2.5 years, it just doesn't make any sense why the Bear will use it now. And the Bear is just gaining territories. They don't need to use this. They don't need to use none of that type of stuff. The Bear is just stopping the stuff coming in from NATO. The Bear's doing a good job by completely taking out their equipment. So why would the Bear use something like that? The Bear Gut rejected the accusation, calling them baseless. I don't know, guys. I feel like the Sleeping Giants are seeing that it's coming to an end for the Yellow and Blue. And so the Sleeping Giant is coming out with all this stuff, and possibly could lead to well, I wouldn't say Article 5 because NATO soldiers didn't get hit. It's the Yellow and Blue country forces. But again, guys, like I said, the Sleeping Giant, it's so hard for me to believe the Sleeping Giant, those in the spotlight. Alright, so it says here, you have this person here told reporters in the Bear capital that the Bear stood by its obligation under the contract, which prohibits states from developing or acquiring new equipment. Some 193 states have ratified the convention. Once again, you have this very powerful equipment. You have a global watchdog that oversees the implementation of CW you know what. All right, so again, this very powerful equipment, which the sleeping giant says the bear has used to dialogue the yellow and blue forces from fortified position, is an very powerful equipment that was used in WW1. I'm gonna skip all that information there, guys. This powerful equipment used in WW1 is expressly banned. All right, it's banned. You can't use it. All right, but the sleeping giants, like the bear, used it. All right, so what's next? What's next? So let's say the bear used it. What's next? What's next? I'm trying to figure that out. Are they going to go after the bear leader and try to cuff him for violating that, you know what? What's next? The Again, the sleeping giant leader, give me a second. So the state D also said that the bear capital had regularly used, I'm going to skip that name, during the biblical war. All right, so the bear is using stuff that they're not supposed to be using. According to the sleeping giant, that's their info. All right, so the sleeping giant leader has previously warned the bear against deploying these equipments in the yellow and blue. In March 2022, weeks after the bear capital launched its operation, the sleeping giant leader vowed that the bear leader would pay a severe price if he did authorize the use of, there you go, we would respond if he uses it. All right, that's it. That's it. So is the sleeping giant going to respond? Is the sleeping giant going to respond? There you go. That's what he said. That's what the sleeping giant leader said in March, I believe March 2022. All right. Weeks after the bear capital launched its operation, the sleeping giant leader vowed that if the bear leader uses the very powerful equipment, it will pay a very severe price. All right, and so he said, the sleeping giant leader said, we would respond if he uses it. All right. So is the sleeping giant leader going to strike the bear? He has to keep his word. So the nature of the response would depend on the nature of the use, the bear leader said. All right. Sanctions? I mean, we're not going to go to WW3 because supposedly only a few yellow and blue forces were impacted by this equipment. It just doesn't make any sense. I'm still waiting for the sleeping giant. What respond? What is 4-6 plan? Is he going to send in NATO forces? There's a possibility NATO might go in. However, there have been consistent reports that the bear capital has ignored that warning. A sleeping giant assistant secretary for the blah, 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 has previously said that the bear was using very powerful equipment. So again, we already know that. All right, so we're going to skip the rest of it. All right, so we are basically waiting for the sleeping giants. I don't think sanctions is going to work on a bear. I mean, they slapped the bear with so much sanctions. It's just making them stronger. So, once again, the sleeping giant pointing finger at the bear for using these equipments. The bear is responding today, saying it is nonsense. We didn't use none of it. But back in March 2022, once again, the sleeping giant leader, back in March 2022, the sleeping giant leader warned, he vowed that the bear leader will pay a severe price if he did authorize the use of, here we go, all right, Joe said we would respond if he uses it. Like I say, guys, it's hard to trust anyone nowadays when it comes to the game of chess, biblical wars. One thing I tell you, the sleeping giant desperately want to go in the yellow and blue country. They just can't go in because if they want to. They go in because hey, things are out of control now. For example, the use of these equipment. All right. So once again, guys, I will keep you updated on this one here. Leave comments down below. We are still waiting for some updates. The bear came out. Dimitri said his part. He said this is baloney. We didn't use none of it. Sleeping Giant needs to stop with their nonsense. All right, so I will keep you updated on this story here. But one thing I tell you, if the bear is winning, if the bear is taking out Sleeping Giant NATO equipment, then why would the bear use these powerful stuff? If they don't need it, they doing good. They are winning. I mean, that's what the Sleeping Giant CI, who said the bear is winning. So why would the bear mess everything up and use those powerful equipments? They don't need it. And sometimes, again, that's why I tell people that I just don't trust those in a Sleeping Giant, the 4-6 group. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Once again, for those of you that want to give a life to Christ, you can email me. My email is in the description box. Me and my wife are here to help many and to lead many to the righteous path. And that's the path of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. Once again, guys, $1 a month Patreon. We get you access to our live stream every Sunday. We talk about things that we cannot talk about on the platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Put your faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for he's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father but through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.